Hi Libra, this is your reading for the week of March 3rd, or when you hear it and it resonates. So Libra, the first thing that I saw when I started working with your energy was you were looking at the sky and you were drawing points between the stars and you were trying to figure out the pattern. Now, I wish I could say this was astrology, but it wasn't. It was that feeling of you trying to make sense of something beyond your ability to figure it out, to rationalize it, to understand something. But that's more at a basic mental level, a mental way of operating, where you're often looking towards something exterior to you. Hopefully a message, perhaps, for those of you who believe in this kind of thing. But for those of you who don't, it is still that sense of looking for an authority, something cosmic, something bigger than you. Sometimes it's only another person, but something bigger than you, other than you, to be an authority about how you are going to change, move, do. And it could be, again, around a specific situation, or it could be just a general mindset, a general way of thinking. What you're being told, my lovely Libras, is this. A lot of times, for those of you who I'm reading for, and of course it will not be for every Libra, we know that, but for the part of the collective that I'm reading for, what I'm being told is you have not had a lot of faith in yourself. And you're at a point right now where this is what you are learning to do. You are learning to have faith. Because faith ultimately is an internal journey towards self-awareness. It's understanding the deeper essence of who we are beyond our personality. Where this has gotten you into problems sometimes in the past has been because you haven't had a deep sense of connection to yourself, towards your own authority, your own confidence, your own sense of power. What you've often done is looked towards the outside to tell you if you're doing things right or doing things wrong, because there's a real fear around doing things wrong, around disapproval, around disappointing people, around having to face inadequacies in yourself. These are all different aspects that can come up for you that has kind of exacerbated or intensified the tendency that you have to try to make people happy, which again, that in and of itself is a good thing. It's only when it has come to a point where it's out of balance and you're making everybody else happy before you check in with what it is you really want. And Libra, this, as difficult as this might be for you, because it really is a shift in perception of who you are, who you're allowed to be, what your role is allowed to be. These are all patterns of thought that are literally ingrained in our physiology. So be kind to yourself if you find yourself stumbling into these repeatedly. Again, you are an air sign. You do have a tendency to think a lot anyway, because that's part of the nature of having a lot of air element in your chart. But what you are now being asked to do is to be fierce, be passionate about really checking in with yourself to see what it is you're feeling and what it is you really want. Now, here's the piece that I didn't expect to hear, and that is this. Because this is a journey and not a one-stop ticket, this is something that's going to continue growing as you move into the world more. And especially now, because the systems around us are breaking down, and they are meant to, and they're going to continue to. So we are being called by Spirit to really learn how to be centered in ourselves, be grounded in ourselves, so that we don't get pulled into it. Because listen, here's the thing, Libra. If you've got 10 people in a room, 10 people might want 10 different things. You're going to make yourself crazy making sure everybody in that room has exactly what they want. That's going to be very tiring for you. And it's going to not really give you the opportunity to say, but what do I want in the room? This is about you learning to really be able to feel what you feel. You can't feel what you feel unless you slow down long enough and give yourself permission to make what you feel important. and to make what you feel not just as important, but valid and potentially the best possible thing that anybody could ever suggest is what is right for you. And certainly in terms of your energy, your world, how you choose to move forward in the world, this is not about, drawing lines in the stars and trying to figure it out and trying to figure out what you should be doing. This was a phrase that came in as I was starting to see this. This is not about, see the star pattern. This is not about finding out what you should be doing. What you should be doing is what you feel is a good thing for you in that moment. You need, if you want to start feeling more confident in yourself, you need to start referencing yourself and checking out. And this is the thing, right? We will all, as we're developing new patterns, we'll all be uncomfortable. We won't do it perfectly. We will make mistakes, all the things that you really dread. But this is your chance. And what you're being told is, don't worry, Libra. Don't worry. Whether you know it or not, you have your own back. Your higher conscious self has your own back. Understand that by deliberately choosing to speak to your higher self, this is really important. By choosing to continuing, or by choosing to continue, by choosing to begin or continue speaking to your higher conscious self, speaking to that soul part of you. Talk to your soul, talk to your higher conscious mind, engage it, because it is bigger and moves beyond any of your insecurities or any of the mental patterns. It's actually going to help guide you towards the things that are going to help you be able to do this more easily and more consistently until it becomes an organic thing and it's a shift and you find yourself behaving or responding differently and you're going, oh, look at that. I wouldn't have done that 6 months ago or last year, or I would have done that differently. It's actually a really, really rich and wonderful time for you. And the next few months are really important to do that because there is going to be more chaos and it's going to show up not just in the world around us, it's going to show up in the collective mind. It's going to show up in personal development, in personal relationships. It's going to be all around us. So we need to decide now, where are we going to link in? Are we going to link in out there for our referencing, which is like turning into a nut house, or are we going to reference inside where we experience timelessness and peace and wisdom and truth? I'm going to leave you with that, Libra. Take care, my dears. Much love.